What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Throw Made the podcast. I'm your host, Sock from Detail Made Simple, and today I have something special for you all. So we are still continuing our series on the wheel and tire cleaners, and on this side of the vehicle, I know I've done last week on the Maniac wheel and tire cleaner on the wheel on the other side. Well, here on the driver's side, we are going to do Clean Till's wheel and tire cleaner. Now, Jamie did send me Clean Till wheel and tire cleaner. He sent me 2 bottles of these, so I've been playing around with them for a little bit. And the difference between Clean Till and the Maniac wheel and tire cleaner, or Clean Till in general as a company, is they're very into the biodegradable, meaning friendly products. Now, in terms, what does that mean? Well, for this product in itself, it is still biodegradable. It is safe for the environment completely, and that's not to say that the other product lines aren't, safe for the environment. It just means that this is heavily on making sure they use every single ingredient to be as green as possible. So that is Clean Till's model, and here we are using their wheel and tire cleaner. Now, I've been playing around with this, and they do have it in 2 different dilutions that they recommend. One is for heavy wheel and tire cleaning. It is a 1-to-1 dilution ratio, and a 1-to-3 dilution ratio for light cleaning. Now, I do have this in my IK foamer in a 1-to-1 dilution ratio. Now, I always prefer to foam on products just for longer dwell time, and I encourage all of you to do that as well, because typically when you just have it spray and it doesn't have that thick consistency on letting it dwell, what's going to happen is it's just going to run off or dry up pretty quick. So I like the dwelling aspect of wheel and tire cleaners in general. So yeah, so what is the price for Clean Till's product? For the 500 mil, I think it's like $18, which is 16 ounces. And then for the 5 liter, you get 5 liters, is for $60. So that is a huge bang for your buck. Now, in terms, if you're using it at a 1-to-1 always, because the only caveat with this versus the Maniac wheel and tire cleaner and Quiver Brake, which Quiver Brake I was using at a 1-to-2, or you could use it at a 1-to-3. For Clean Till, you're always going to either use it at a 1-to-1, and I found that to be the best dilution for me at all times, is a 1-to-1. So that isn't, so if you buy a 5 liter, guess what? That's a gallon and say 2 liters of product, or 1 liter of product. That is a great bang for your buck for, think about it, $23. And if you were washing your wheels and tires constantly, then guess what? That's what you're gonna do. And if you want to prep it, just prep with distilled water, say a 32 ounce. If you want to do a 1-on-1, just put 16 ounce, say this whole 500 ml bottle in one, and then 16 ounces of water on the other one, and then that's it. You have a 1-on-1 dilution ready to go, 32 ounces, and that will be more than enough to do 8 sets of wheels and tires, or 2 sets of 4 wheels, or 8 wheels and tires. So yeah, enough talking. Let me just let this foam on so you can see. And in terms of foaming, it foams on very nice, and I prefer this on all wheel and tire cleaners, as I told you all before, because you just want that dwell time. Now, in terms of browning, again, same thing with like my Maniac wheel and tire cleaner. You have to let this dwell for about a minute or 2 and just let it activate. Now, is this going to be the heaviest browning tire, or have I used it on super dirty wheels? Yes, I have. It does brown, but it's not going to give you that crazy browning like Maniac wheel and tire cleaner. So that's one thing to note. So you just gonna let that dwell. It does smell like lemongrass. It just smells very, very nice as well. It doesn't have that kickback smell. And I will show you once this is dwelling with, say, a wheel and tire, or just say with the tire cleaner here, and I spray it on the tire. You're gonna see that how it activates afterwards. And I'll put it here on the area that I missed, so you can see that browning effect, so you all know what I am talking about. So just let that dwell for a little bit more. I'll probably fast forward this section. And oh yeah, so as this is dwelling, we'll talk about the pros and cons right away, right? So the pros is the price. It the price for it for $54, and you can use that at 101. That is a great price for 5 liters of product. Now, in terms of, say, it being biodegradable completely, it is an awesome caveat as well. The other third pro is the smell. It doesn't have that kickback smell. You're not going to be coughing your lungs out. That is another great feedback as well. So, and in terms of cleaning the rims itself, yes, it does clean and remove that dirt, grit, and grime. You're just not going to get the tire blooming like you typically would. So I'm going to use the tire cleaner now because it's been a while and you see a little bit of browning, but not enough. So I'm going to spray this on. You're going to see what I'm talking about. So once I start spraying this, and let me bring you in close, you're gonna see it starts to brown, and what it wasn't doing earlier was that heavy tire, see that? Browning coming off. So that is something just to keep in mind. It's just the tires. Now, in terms of the rims itself, I'm going to put this right here, put you all pretty low. So in terms of the rims itself being clean, it comes out perfectly clean. My wheels are coated. And you see the huge difference on runoff on the wheel and on the tire itself. See the runoff difference on the tire itself. And let me get my towel. That's right over here. And we are going to wipe. So you could see it came out practically clean. I did touch the tire, so let me just wipe here, wipe here, wipe here, and wipe here without touching the tire. And as you can see, it is removed a lot of that dirt, grit, and grime. So that is pretty much it here. Now you can do your contact wash afterwards. Has it affected my Labo HPC 2.0 coating? No, not at all. My coating is dying by itself. I've had put a paint coating on the wheels, and it's been close to, when did I coat this vehicle? In June of 2025. So right now we are in March. So we're talking about close to, we're talking about close to like 8 to 9 months. So, and it is daily driven. So let me bring you all up here, and so all of you can see, and we'll talk about CleanTill. So yeah, so I've stated the pros and cons. It smells great. It is a 1-to-1 dilution ratio. That's the recommended dilution that I recommend. As you saw, it doesn't give that heavy tire blooming, but in terms of cleaning the wheels and actual stuff, it does really, really well. It smells great, and it is biodegradable. That is something that they are heavy on, and it just works. It works. Now, if you want that heavy tire browning, then that is negative with this product. You're not going to get that heavy tire browning the same way I did with the Maniac, how it happened on the other side. So that is something to keep in mind. In terms of the price is very well. Now, where would I put Maniac? CleanTill's wheel and tire cleaner. It's not S tier like Maniac. I'll put it on, in my personal opinion, based on many tires that I've used before, on super brown tires. Yes, you'll get a lot of tire browning. I'll put this in A- B tier. That is my personal opinion. And just let me know what you all think. That's all I have. It does work. Is it something that's going to be amazing and based on dilution ratios? Is it the best bang for your buck? No, but if it's the best bang for the entire environment, then obviously, of course, it's S tier. And that is all I have for you. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.